Guys, Texas takes yet another L. Put your L's in the chat. Texas takes another L, and this time we're going to blame it on this woman on my screen. I had a little bit of trouble trying to squeeze most of her pictures onto my little bitty item right there. I'm just saying, this is a very, very terrible looking woman. And I'm just saying, y'all know I don't normally say stuff like that, but God dog. Not only was, you guys got to hear what she was accused of. Here we go. That woman that you see on my screen, her name is Tedria Fluellen, and that is her real name. Tedria Fluellen. Now, I don't know why that name Fluellen sounds familiar to me. I don't know. But nonetheless, it seems like that name is associated with a lot of BS, right? That woman that you see on my screen is 51 years old, out of Houston, Texas. And she is a Houston Independent School District Teacher Assistant. That is a long-ass title. HISD Teacher Assistant. And she is facing charges of sexual assault after she allegedly coerced a male student into sexual relations, including at least once in the school parking lot, according to court records filed by the Harris County District Attorney's Office. Lord Jesus. Let me start this off by doing this. Because I'm going to say some things that even Jesus is not going to be proud of me saying. My God. Oh, my goodness. Upgraded membership to AFC Premier. Let me give a shout out to Bodacious J, man. I didn't realize that people were showing love like Bodacious J, man. She upgraded her AFC Premier membership. If you guys want to join the channel and join her, shout out to Bodacious J and the rest of the channel members in this thing. Let's talk about this story. The student, who was only about 15 to 16 years old at the time of the alleged sexual abuse, told investigators that that woman that you see on the screen, Tedria Fluellen, who is 51 years old, had coerced him into oral sex. Yeah, I'm going to show y'all some more of these photos. Actually, you know what? I forgot. I added a couple of extra photos. I'm sorry. I'm wondering, like, where's these other photos? Do y'all want to see some extra photos of how extra badly shaped this woman is? I'm going to add a couple extra photos. Somebody going to be in their fields today. Let's take a look. Matter of fact, let me take these out, and I'm going to make sure that we get the right photos in here. Y'all see that AFC logo? We're about to advocate for the children. So don't get in your feelings, okay? I want y'all to take a look at these photos. This woman right here. Let me see if I can show y'all her Facebook photos. Oh my God. I want to know. I honestly want to know what 16-year-old boy looked at this and said, I want to get aroused by that. Y'all see this? This is how she captioned her own photo on Facebook. Let me pause it right here because women are quite delusional. The reason for that is because nobody is really honest. That's not all women, but quite a few of them are just straight out delusional. I'm just saying, it seems that ugly doesn't apply to any woman on earth. You can't call any woman on earth. I'm sorry, but somebody has to be the candidate for being unattractive. This woman called herself a cutie pie. How many of y'all think that this woman is cute out here? Last time I checked, it's not that hard for women to get sex and dick from any man on earth. But the fact that we have so many women, especially our sisters, that have been accused of the most heinous things, raping men, raping boys. Who would have thought that women would be this desperate that they have to rape men, rape boys, trick boys? Yes? Why is she sitting in the chair like that? Oh my God, like her back fat is hanging off of her. Like, why does she look like, hold on, let's go back. Let's not skip this photo. Let's take a step back. I'm sorry. We also got another member that upgraded their membership. That is my brother, Mark Adams, man. Let me give him a shout out. Thank you, Mark Adams, for upgrading his membership to the Advocate for Children membership. That is the AFC. That is I think that's the second to top perk on there. But shout out to my brother, Mark. Let's go back. Let's not skip this. While she's sitting in this chair, tell me, why does she look like a melted glacier? Like she looks like a sad sack of potatoes sitting in that chair just, I'm melting. Oh my God. Guys, I'm sorry. I know y'all not going to be happy with my fat jokes tonight, but some of y'all know that this woman is just flat out ridiculous looking. My God. I want y'all to come up with a name for her because she rapes students. And you know what? We're going to come up with a name for her. Look at her face. Like, damn. Like, if y'all look, like, what is that stuff around her eyelids? Do y'all see that? Like, it looks like her eyelids probably smell bad with all that crust around it. Like, what the hell is that? Also, that's her Facebook page. If y'all want to go and see all these nice compliments that she be complimenting herself on her Facebook page is still open. Look at that. Oh my God. That is a photo from her Facebook page. Let's take a pause for the cause real quick. I'm sorry, but look at that. And she says, a night of elegance. I need to blow this picture up. Y'all need to see how serious this is. Hold on. Give me a second. I haven't even gotten into the damn story yet. And this is why I'm going to probably go to hell, and I'm going to see some of y'all there with me. Y'all got to see this. Look at this. I had to blow this up. Look at this photo. Stop what you're doing. Look at this damn photo. Look at this. A night of elegance. Women's Month Gala. What the hell does she have on? Tell me, why does that look like a purple bed sheet? Tell me this is not an ode to Barney or some shit like that. This woman looks horrible. Horrible. It's not even horrible. It's horrible. God dog. Out here raping boys. You know what? I have a new name for her. Y'all want to know what it is? We're going to come up with a new name for her before we even tell this story. Y'all pitch in if y'all feel like y'all got a good name for her. What do y'all think y'all should call her? Barney the dinosaur in a dress. That's what she looks like. Like, seriously. I'm going to call her Hamburger Heart Attack. Let's go ahead and clear this photo off. Let's go ahead and proceed with this story. Let's talk about Hamburger Heart Attack for a minute, okay? Let's go ahead and start. The student, who was 16 years old at the time of the alleged sexual abuse, told investigators that Tedria or Fedria, because she looked like she ain't never missed a meal, Fluellen, matter of fact, you could probably call her Fluellen. How about that? Tedria Fluellen, if I can remember to say that, coerced him into oral sex, according to a November 22nd charging document filed against Fluellen, who worked at Worthing High School for the past 2 years. In court, a magistrate set Fluellen's bail at $40,000. And I want y'all to understand that. They set her bail for raping, sexual abuse, whatever you want to call it. To me, that's rape. Rape this student at school and off campus, and you get a $40,000 bail? Seriously? How does that work? Or does that only work for women? I don't, God dog, that's a horrible photo. Jesus Christ. Anyway. Let's keep going. Let's keep talking about Hamburger Heart Attack. Let's go. The two of them had at least 4 sexual encounters, including at the teacher's assistant's home, in her storage unit in Pasadena, at the student's home, and inside of her car in the parking lot of the Worthing High School. I want y'all to hear this again. I want y'all to hear this again. They had at least 4 sexual encounters. 1 being at her home, 2 at a Pasadena storage unit room. A storage unit room. A storage unit room. Fucking disgusting. Yuck. Third, at the student's home, hashtag where's the father, hashtag where's the mother. Huh? How does that happen? How do you even miss her pulling up? Like you can't visually miss her. Lastly, in her car in the parking lot of the school. I have a question. I know I make a lot of fat jokes in this particular story about hamburger heart attack, but I'm just saying, y'all see how big this woman is. Let me get to a photo and show you how big this woman is. Look at this. First of all, what kind of vehicle does she drive? I would like to know. Second of all, how would you maneuver in a car with her inside the car and this student and have in a car in the school parking lot? Huh. How do you even fit all of that inside of the car and find room and space to have sex with a student in the car? Anyway, just let me move on. God dog, I'm never going to get through with this story. The alleged abuse began in 2018, documents show. The student and Fluellen knew each other from school, but also because this fat bitch went to she went to the same Baptist church as her student. So she's a holy woman, right? Jesus, God, and all that, and praise Jesus, and all up in, all up in church, praising God and all of that. But while you're on campus, at the school campus, sucking dick of students. Oh, yeah. Now, Fluellen is further accused of giving the student a cell phone for his birthday, right? Look at that. Like she can barely even fit in the car her goddamn self. Just let me back that photo up while I tell the rest of the story. Y'all look at that. Look at that photo. The two of them allegedly shared sexually graphic and explicit photos on their cell phones, which the student's grandmother, not mother or father, but grandma, found on the student's phone, documents showed. The grandmother called 911 and reported the alleged sexual abuse to the HISD police, according to records. Now, in an interview with police, Fluellen allegedly told him, "You don't have to be gay before making a sexual advancement." I'm going to read that again. While you guys are here, if you would, do me a favor. One of my moderators, let me know how many thumbs up we have. Click that thumbs up. Thank you to everybody that's already clicked the thumbs up to share the stream and let everybody know that we're live. Somebody said she got triple titties. Man. She's got a refrigerator full of just nastiness hanging off of her. It's like somebody she like a big ass coat rack and just everybody just stuck their coat on. Anyway. I want y'all to hear this again. Fluellen allegedly told the student, "You don't have to be gay before making a sexual advancement." That's how low that is. We only got 50 thumbs up. Come on, y'all. Please hit that thumbs up. The only way that she can get this holy woman, this woman all about God and Jesus and all of that bull crap that she be in there in the church talking about she's about, had to mentally screw with a child's head to tell him, Unless you want sex with that, if you don't want that, you must be gay. You don't have to be gay. You can have all of this. All of that. All of that can be yours. So that way you don't have to be gay. That's low. That's extremely low. Let's move on with this damn story because it's pissing me off. The victim said that she was at Fluellen's home when she told him to make sexual contact with her. The victim said that Fluellen then performed oral sex on him. And I feel bad for that student. And I know maybe the parents might hear this, but I'm going to say it anyway. As a man and as a boy, being 15 or 16 years old, however old he is, how do you see this right there and get aroused? That is a new low. I don't see how you look at that and get aroused. Just throwing it out there. I'm just saying, it's just nasty. It's absolutely ridiculous. The victim said Fluellen would send him explicit text messages and called him my secret lover. Okay, take a note of that. In one of the assaults, the victim told investigators that Fluellen assaulted him while his grandmother had gone out of town to Louisiana. So she left a 15-year-old or 16-year-old, however old he is, left him at home alone. Fluellen fixed his cousin a drink with champagne and told the victim it's going to knock him out per court documents. So she gave him the Bill Cosby. Ain't that a bitch? I see people got a whole lot to say about Bill Cosby. Maybe I'm expecting for them to have a whole lot to say about this story. So she gave him a cocktail and said that it's going to knock him out per court documents. The drink was said to have been mixed, because it's Houston, with Sprite, Coca-Cola, champagne, and some medication, according to the victim. So ain't no telling what she probably put in there. Now, when investigators spoke with Fluellen, she said she told the victim that this not the lifestyle and said that another student was trying to turn him out. She said the victim had started calling her mama. Man, that's sick. She also admitted to police that she had a public storage unit located in Pasadena, and when she was confronted about the cell phone she allegedly gave to the victim and the sexually explicit text messages between them, she told authorities that the text should have gone to her boyfriend. Now, how many of y'all believe that this big fat nasty bitch had a boyfriend? No, no, no. You don't look at that and think that's girlfriend material at 51 years old. No, ma'am. No, ma'am. If she do got a boyfriend, boy, I feel sad for any y'all men. Need to step your game up. Have some standards. My God. She told authorities that she'd given the victim a cell phone in August and that the phone was on her account. When asked by investigators if she had sex with the victim, she stalled before stating that she had sex with the victim in her storage unit, according to court documents. She had sex in a storage unit. Can somebody type that in the chat for me and let me know that y'all heard what I just said? She had sex with her student in a storage room. This is another L, not only for BBWs, but black women in general. And the state of Texas. This is a whole nother L. Y'all hold this L, Texas, because I live out here. We got to hold this L for allowing this to happen. Fluellen gave authorities written consent to search her cell phone, and investigators found several sexually explicit text messages that she allegedly sent to the victim. HISD released a statement to the Houston Chronicle about Fluellen. I'm calling her Fluellen. I'm calling her Tedria because she looked like she don't miss a meal. Fluellen. That's her name. I'm calling her that. We are aware that the former HISD employee has been arrested and charged, the statement read. We are fully cooperating with Harris County District Attorney's Office in keeping our students and campuses safe so that productive instruction can take place remains in the district's top priority. One person said, Worthing parents are reacting to the case, and with one believing that there's a problem with the system in which teachers are being hired. She said, I'm not feeling good, and I'm not feeling this system right now. The background checks and the teachers is not good enough because the teachers do whatever they want to do in there, said Juanita Rojas, a parent in Houston. Let me go ahead and give you guys the fair usage, and while y'all are here, click that thumbs up. Let's go ahead and get this story started. Federal law allows citizens to reproduce, distribute, or exhibit portions of copyrighted motion pictures, videotapes, or video discs under certain circumstances without the authorization of the copyright holder. This is called fair use. It is allowed for purposes of criticism, news reporting, teaching, and parody, which doesn't infringe of copyright under 17 U.S.C. 107. I know this is Thanksgiving and we are around the holidays, but this is the type of woman that's somebody's auntie that nobody wants at their house during Thanksgiving. Because she be the type of person to eat like 2 or 3 plates and then take a whole bunch of to-go boxes home with her also with a big nasty looking self. Let's go ahead and get this thing started before I say something to get me flagged. Oh man, hold on. Let me get this video up real quick. There was only a couple news videos, but here we go.
Grandmother's intuition that put a teacher's aide behind bars. New documents reveal this grandmother felt something was wrong, so she looked at her grandchild's cell phone. What she discovered alarmed her, and she called police. This is a Worthing High School teacher's aide charged with sexual assault of a child under 17. Today, we learn new details tied to her arrest. Court documents reveal she knew the victim from school and church. Over the past year, the student told police they had sex several times, including at the victim's house, defendant's house, storage unit, and Worthing High School parking lot.
We cannot skip too fast past that part. A storage unit. A storage unit.
On Friday, her neighbors noticed several officers outside her home.
They had the battering ram, they had the, full gear.
Fluellen appeared in court hours later.
Tell me why, I don't know why this just popped into my head, but tell me, don't she look like in that big old huge pink with her junk hanging all off of her like that, almost about to hang over that little banister that she's standing next to? Tell me why she looked like a reject off of Kirby's Adventures. Now, some of y'all might not be as old as me, so maybe some of y'all don't get the NES references, but I'm just saying, that woman is big as hell. Let's move on.
Her attorney told the judge she worked at Worthing High School for the past 2 years. An investigation started last month after the victim's grandmother called police. Documents show officers obtained her cell phone and found sexually explicit text messages sent to the underage student. The documents also reveal Fluellen admitted to having sex with the victim in a storage unit, a crime that's left her neighbors disgusted.
Wow, no, I didn't know that. I didn't know that.
Let's see what he had to say again.
Disgusted.
Wow, no, I didn't know that.
Let's hear that again.
Disgusted.
Wow, no, I didn't know that. I didn't know that.
Disgusted.
Wow, no, I didn't know that. I didn't know that.
That is a weird reaction. I'm just saying.
Disgusted.
Wow, no, I didn't know that. I didn't know that.
I'm just bothered by it because it's seconds away from where we live and nobody was notified or anything about it.
Fluellen's sitting in jail on a $40,000 bond. She's due back in court next month.
She needs to be locked up. Yeah, all of them do. And it needs to be, everybody needs to know this. Everybody needs to be aware of things that go on where you live.
Now, I do agree with her on that. Let me thank my brother. If he's in the chat, Mark Adams, are you in the chat? He just sent in a PayPal. Just sent in a PayPal donation. Very nice donation. I want to say thank you to you. Also, Jacoby, if you're listening, I just got your donation by way of Venmo. So you guys have actually hit me up in every method that we have so far. So thank you guys very much if y'all are listening.
We're unsure about the status of employment with HISD. We reached out to the district on Friday after she was arrested, but we still have not heard back.
Man, she is in jail on a $40,000 bond. I think her bond should be a lot more than that. I think it should at least be $100,000. What do y'all think her bond should be? $40,000 to me is too low. That's way too low. Oh my God, Big Logic. That is disgusting. I don't even want to think about her naked, dude. That is disgusting. Oh my God. It should be a crime. Look at how she's shaped. It should it should be a jailable offense to be shaped like that. It's bad for your health. Black women in particular in the black community die of heart disease a lot. Y'all can get mad if you want to. That's a statistic. And our women should not be dying behind something as stupid as just being mindful of your health. Everybody should be mindful of their health. I'm just saying. Why is she on this photo? Let me get to that photo. Let me move forward. I'm gonna show y'all something. How many of you guys actually watch Family Guy? I don't know if y'all watch Family Guy like I do. I'm a big Family Guy fanatic. Let me show you. Let me see if I can get to the photo. I might not be able to. Let's see if I can get to it. Where is it at? Right there. Somebody said Miss Puff from SpongeBob. Yep. Tell me why she's looking like Y'all got to go back and go watch that episode of Family Guy. It is so relevant. That's what she looked like to me. I'm just saying. Let's go ahead and move on. How many of you guys want to see her in court? I've got the court video, and I'm going to play one of these. I think the audio is okay on one of them. But let's go ahead and show you guys the video of her in court. Let's take a look. Here we go.
Ladies first, Miss Fluellen. Ladies first, Miss Fluellen.
And I thought that was a weird thing. The judge said, ladies first. Well, if this world is going to be equal, like, let me not go into that. I just think ladies first is a weird thing. I get it. But that was back when we believed in chivalry, and we believe in equality now. So that ladies first thing should be thrown out the window. Anyway, let's move on past that. Let's move on.
Ladies first, Miss Fluellen.
Sit them out there. Really want them in the blue? Yeah, I'll be right there. Come on, man. So he'll be coming back in a minute.
Keep in mind, thank you, Fatine. This is a church-going, God-loving, spiritual-loving, Jesus-praising woman sucking dick in storage units and on a high school campus.
Hey, Miss Fluellen, you're accused of the second-degree felony offense of sexual assault of a child between the ages of 14 and 17 years of age. Your case, probable cause has already been determined in your case, Ms. Fluellen, and your case is pending in the 184th District Court. That's Judge Abigail Anastasio. Ms. Fluellen, are you asking Judge Anastasio to appoint you a lawyer in your case? And are you requesting the assistance of Mr. Self, the public defender, for purposes of a bail hearing?
This is not even Big Belly Bowens. Like, Big Belly Bowens just got a big belly. And you, ooh. And Big Belly Bowens, Brittany Big Belly Bowens, and Tedria Fluellen are both out of Houston, Texas. So apparently, you got a bunch of nasty, big, stinking women out here in Houston that are doing some heinous things to these kids. Supposed to be Mother Earth out here doing shit like this.
Are you a U.S. citizen, Ms. Fluellen? Mr. Cell phone.
How is she able to stand in a courtroom with her junk just hanging over that banister and hanging over her belly like that? Like, yeah, thank you. Parker Lynn caught that. Like, where is your bra? Where is your self-respect? But y'all know she thinks she cute and she thinks she's sexy. She'll work that hard to get compliments by dressing up and draping that bullcrap that she called clothes on her, but she won't change her diet to be healthy and look presentable.
I'm requesting a downward departure from the bail schedule. If bail will be set in the amount of $20,000. Ms. Fluellen, per the PSA, scores a 1-1 below average risk. She has no prior misdemeanor, felony, or violent convictions, no failures to appear in her history whatsoever. No pending charges at this time. Ms. Fluellen is 51 years old and a lifelong Harris County resident. She lived at the same address for about half a year. She has been steadily employed for the last 2 years at HISD, prior to that at Pasadena ISD for 2 years. She holds a bachelor's degree from Texas Southern University. As far as getting to court, she promised to use Lyft and Uber and secure rides from family members. I do also want to note Ms. Fluellen is affected by a terminal disease. She has leukemia.
They said she has leukemia. Yeah, let's blame it on some bullshit. She has leukemia. That's why she was out here raping boys at school. Yes, because she has leukemia. Yeah, matter of fact, yeah, where is that dude? Where are these pro-black, supposed to be financial advisors talking about it's just a sliver? That woman is not a sliver. That's a slab. Let's get it right. It's not a sliver. It's a slab. It's a slab of ribs. It's a slab of hamburgers. It's a slab of turkey. It's a slab of back fat. It's a slab of, like, God dog. Where's the sliver? And they tried to set her bail. I want y'all to keep in mind, they originally, that person defending her, tried to set her bail at $20,000. Half of the 40. Keep in mind. Let's move on.
Continue treatment in the free world. This is her first arrest. Do want to also note, per the allegations in the warrant, or the officer's statement in the warrant, Ms. Fluellen has voluntarily participated in the investigation and is answering for this charge. It's not a person that's not going to be in court.
You're requesting personal one?
Or is this court able? 1703. Yes, Your Honor. Requesting personal one.
Okay. All right, Mr. Powers, did the state file a motion in this case? Other than the technical?
Your Honor, I do not find it to show any motions that have been filed at this time.
Right. What's on bond, Mr. Powers?
Your Honor, given the serious...
I don't know if y'all can hear that well enough or not. Let me switch to the second video. Let me see if y'all can hear this a little bit better.
A magistrate's order, even though these are just allegations at this time. The state is requesting, and I'm going to grant it, a magistrate's order of emergency protection. You are prohibited from...
Let me go forward just a little bit.
Also note,
Mr. Powers, did the state file a motion in this case? Other than the technical?
requesting personal one.
Okay. All right, Mr. Powers, did the state file a motion in this case? Other than the technical?
Your Honor, I do not find it to show any motions that have been filed at this time.
All right. What's on bond, Mr. Powers?
Your Honor, given the seriousness of the allegations, the concern that these allegations do raise for public safety, specifically considering this individual is working at a school, Your Honor, we would ask for a $40,000 bond in this case. Additionally, if the judge does grant any APR, we would ask for no contact with the plan or any other minors as well.
Your Honor, by way of rebuttal, I think it's probably safe to say Ms. Fluellen will not be going back to the school. She does promise to comply with...
I see what you wrote. Serious Black said she eats that in a week. $20,000, man. She could have absolutely worn something more appropriate because her Her whole back area, that's a lot of area. Like that whole back area with all those slabs of stuff hanging out. Even a freaking, just, I don't know, man. No bra, and then you wear that big ass pink nasty looking shirt. That's just ridiculous. Even the judge should have thrown her out for wearing that.
No contact order. It equivocated on cursory reading.
It essentially equivocates to a tank top. Thank you, Sirius Black. That's basically what it is.
Article 1703, we are requesting a personal bond based on Ms. Llewellyn's low risk.
Yeah,
Thank
we
you,
are
Ms.
opposed. We are opposed. Excuse me.
Oh, no problem, Ms. Powell. Okay. Thank you, Mr. Self and Mr. Powers. All right. Ms. Llewellyn, I'm going to set your bond at $40,000. I'm not going to approve a personal bond in this case. Understand that you do come in at low risk. However, this is a public safety issue, even though these are just allegations at this time. The state is requesting, and I'm going to grant it, a magistrate's order of emergency protection. You are prohibited from doing the following with regard to minor child, the victim or the complainant in this case.
They're blocking out the names, so y'all can't hear the names.
You cannot commit an assault against, you cannot stalk, you cannot communicate directly with in a threatening or harassing manner. You cannot communicate a threat through any person to. You cannot possess a firearm unless you're a licensed peace officer. You cannot go to within 200 feet of residence. If is employed, you cannot go within 200 feet of use place of employment. You cannot go within 200 feet of school where you may attend. I don't believe that it's in a child care facility, but if so, you cannot go within 200 feet of that facility.
So if y'all are wondering why some of those little spots got blocked out while they were cutting out the words, it's because they were saying the names and they didn't want them to put the students at any further risk.
This order will be good for 61 days. At the direction of Deputy Floyd, Ms. Fluellen, please step over and sign the order.
Thank you, Judge.
Deputy Floyd.
I agree. Who said that? That is Fatine Banks says she should be banned from church too. I agree, because I think she is a danger to anybody who is underage, especially children. Absolutely should be banned from church. I 100% agree. Let me take a pause for the cause real quick. Let me say thank you to Miss Cash Brown, who just sent in a very nice Cash App donation. If she's listening, I want to say thank you very much. I just got it in. So thank you to you as well as others. I want to say thank you also to Manya, to Kydra, and a couple other people. I'll get back to the PayPal side here in just a moment. And also thank you to the people who donated, especially to Miss Cash Brown and Illicit Deeds, also donated by way of the super chat as well. So thank you guys for doing that.
Stand at the door, ma'am. I'll be right here.
Wow, look at that. Oh my God, look at that. Y'all see how she waddled away? Let's look at that again. Like her legs look like they are just struggling to move. Look at this walk again. And y'all tell me what human being on earth is going to get aroused by this? I'm sorry, this is just disgusting. Let's look at her. Look at her walk off again. Watch it again.
Stand at the door, ma'am. I'll be right here.
Man, let me ask y'all this. If this were a man that was accused of raping girls at school, they have her in no handcuffs. They don't have anybody really escorting her, like nothing, like by the arm. Well, I mean, it'd be hard to hold her arms, but I'm just saying, like, it don't look like they're treating her like a criminal who was accused of doing something egregious to children. They just letting her just go wait by the door. Maybe they feel like she's not gonna run away. Maybe that's what it is. That's probably what it is. She's not gonna get that far.
Stand at the door, ma'am. I'll be right here.
Wow. If y'all look, she can barely keep that shirt hanging on her. That has got to be a big shirt. Like, where do you find a shirt that big and it just still, like, it's just hanging on for dear life? Just gross. She is as wide as the door itself. Yuck. Oh my goodness. Guys, like I said, I know y'all might not care for the big girl jokes, the fat jokes, but y'all got to remember, this is not a regular woman. This is a woman, a human being that is accused of raping students at school. Do not ever forget that.
Ms. Fluellen, I'm going to set your bond at $40,000. I'm not going to approve a personal bond in this case. Understand that you do come in at low risk. However, this is a public safety issue, even though these are just allegations at this time. The state is requesting, and I'm going to grant it, a magistrate's order of emergency protection. You are prohibited from doing the following with regard to minor child. You cannot commit an assault against TW. You cannot stalk TW. You cannot communicate directly with TW in a threatening or harassing manner. You cannot communicate a threat through any person to TW. You cannot possess a firearm unless you're a licensed peace officer. You cannot go to within 200 feet of TW's residence. If TW is employed, you cannot go within 200 feet of TW's place of employment. You cannot go.
They're only given the middle. They're only given the initials, so they don't give out the whole name.
You cannot go within 200 feet of TW's place of employment. You cannot go within 200 feet of TW's school where TW may attend. I don't believe that TW is in a child care facility, but if so, you cannot go within 200 feet of that facility. This order will be good for 61 days. At the direction of Deputy Floyd, Ms. Fluellen, please step over.
God, that is a big old
Ms. Fluellen, I'm going to set your...
Let me go ahead and end this thing off by saying this. I've done some substitute teaching before myself, like not very often, but just a couple times. I can probably remember being a substitute teacher a couple times. And I've always said that that's usually a day where students pretty much get a free day at school. They don't really take the substitutes seriously, but I think a lot of that depends on the substitutes themselves. So anybody who out there is a substitute, or if you've done some teaching or anything like that, I've always believed that whenever you come into a classroom, you need to be able to command respect. You don't have to force anybody to respect you, but you should command respect. Okay? Like, in my opinion, kids are real easy to deal with, even with high school kids. You just have to walk in with this aura about yourself that says that, hey, you know, I'm about business, straight up and down. But for these teachers, not only teachers, but assistant teachers, and you just keep letting these people in there who don't, matter of fact, I think she actually has a teaching degree if I'm not mistaken. I could be wrong, but if I'm not mistaken, I think that this broad actually has a teaching degree. Unlike a lot of substitute teachers, okay? But they come in there and take advantage of the students, because you have to remember that these children have feeble minds. Their minds are very flexible. They're not really set on what's right and wrong, but that's also why we have laws in our country that say, hey, nobody under the age of 18 years old, for the most part, pretty much across the country. Once you cross that threshold, then it becomes different. Then they say, okay, this person should be mentally developed to know right from wrong at that point, and they can be held accountable in the court of law. Anybody else below that, I think that you should treat these type of people who take advantage of those people fairly. If we're going to say it's wrong for men to do this and be sleeping with high school students, like I've seen a lot of people in the comments section that go ham. They go crazy on these men who are accused of sleeping with students, especially those who are underage. In my opinion, if it's going to be bad on one side, it has to be bad on the other, right? We're going to be fair on both sides. If we're going to tear into one person, and if we're going to tear into the men, then we're going to tear into the women who also abuse that same exact system. Now, why you call yourself a cutie pie, but you look like you want some pie rather than being a cutie pie? But I'm just saying, I think it's ridiculous the fact that women will go above and beyond to buy this weave, to buy these outfits, to buy this jewelry, to buy all of this bull crap that don't mean anything, and just say, fuck my health. Like, we're just not going to worry about being healthy and living a long, healthy life at all. It's a weird, strange thing, and it also shows how demented this woman is. To take advantage of a student who went to the church, which should be egregious itself. To be taking advantage of students in God's house, right? Not only that, the two places that are the worst places, and none of these crimes are ever okay, but I just think that some sins are worse than others. How many of y'all agree with where I'm coming from? I know no sin is greater than the other in the eyes of God, but I think that there are some sins that are just worse just from a visual standpoint. Taking advantage of students in church and in school. Church and school. This woman was wrong for what she did, and she needs jail time and lots of it. Jail time and lots of it. To me, the fact that they hit her with a $40,000 bail, to me, already shows where this is going to go. She's probably going to get a slap on the wrist and probably only get a couple years in jail when she really needs to be put away, because she is going to be a permanent danger. She's already proven at 51 years old that she does not make proper decisions, and she is a danger to any and all children. Those type of people have to be taken out of society. We have taken the key, thrown away people, and locked them away for marijuana, for weed, because they like weed, had weed on them. There's a lot of people still languishing in jail over weed, which has almost become made legal across the United States of America. Almost in every state. But we're still not taking crimes against children seriously. That's a problem. That's an absolute problem. Because if it were me and my child, I'd be seeking for the maximum, even life in prison. People should know, and people should be afraid in our society to do anything against children, period. And until you set a standard, until you set a precedent and make examples out of people like this, then they're going to continue to keep thinking that this shit is okay. This kid could not speak for himself and apparently was not able to defend themselves against the tyranny of this big old woman right here. Talk about, look at the caption, daughter of Christ. That's the point. A manipulative, fat, stinky broad. I cannot call her enough terrible names. Tedria Fluellen, otherwise known as Tedria Fluellen, 51 years old, she is a danger to society, and she should not be around children ever again. She needs to be doing, I'd say, give her 15 years. Get her on up out of here. She's done enough damage to society, and this probably is not her first time doing some stuff like this, especially being 51 years old and looking like that. I'm going to go ahead and end this story before I say some more heinous things, but nonetheless, I hope that this child and the family gets justice for what this woman did, and I hope that they make an example out of her. Houston, Texas, we've taken yet another L, and I think that she needs to be told off, and she should be banned from society, all right? This is your boy, DJ Just J. We're the AFC. We advocate for children first, and I'm going to say that again. We advocate for children first. Get out your feelings. That's the end of the stream. Peace.